Honorable Speaker, thank you very much to the Majority Leader for donating that time. As you are aware, Honorable Speaker, the State of the Nation address was given last week. My position has always been that because the rules require that the President be heard in silence, those of us who might feel strongly to raise objections try and stay away from that debate. But I observed something very unique, Majority Leader, that this time around people were allowed to give feedback to the President when he was giving his speech. So maybe next year, now that a tradition has been set that you can stand up and clap and shout slogans, then probably some of us now are welcome to attend, Honorable Speaker, although we might have divergent views. Honorable Speaker, I will start off by my expectation whenever it comes to the State of the Nation, because this is a duty under Article 132(1)(c) that requires the President to elucidate the measures taken and the progress that has been achieved in achieving the national values that have been set out under Article 10, and to publish that those measures and the progress in Kenya Gazette, and lastly, Honorable Speaker, to report on the progress in fulfilling the international obligations that Kenya has signed up to. Speaker, unfortunately for me, just from the beginning there, when you see the way the head of state framed his understanding of Article 132, there is already a problem, because, Honorable Speaker, instead of focusing solely on those three areas that have been highlighted under Article 132, he frames the conversation starting off there in the first paragraphs about a vision that he has to sell and a story that he has to tell, speaks about affordable homes, factories, hustler fund, promises made and promises kept. Unfortunately for me, Honorable Speaker, my expectation is that in the order in which Article 132 is framed, the vast majority of the time that the President takes to speak to the nation should be actually to address the values that are in Article 10 and what his government has done in the period since he last spoke in Parliament. By the way, I have seen references here to previous years, including 2022, when my understanding is, because it is an annual address, in my view, he should restrict himself to the measures that he has taken as a government in the last 12 months since he spoke last to Parliament and the progress that has been achieved. In fact, Honorable Speaker, you have to go all the way to paragraph 12 of the speech for you to encounter just a mention of the values under Article 10. Article 10, Honorable Speaker, has a total of 17 values. 17 values from patriotism all the way through national unity, devolution, rule of law, democracy, all the way to sustainable development. Honorable Speaker, therefore, it was a bit disappointing that that order was not, in my view, followed. So that you will see, Speaker, we have to come all the way to paragraph 26, from 24 to 26 there, when he's addressing the question of Kenya's meeting its international obligations. He has spoken about the Eurobond redemption, foreign reserves, international markets, Kenyans being upgraded by Kenya's sovereign credit rating being upgraded by Standard & Poor's, and so on and so forth. But, Speaker, what is required under Article 132 is that you spend a bit of time in addressing these 17 values. And my position, having gone through this speech, Honorable Speaker, of those 17 values, I have counted less than 5 that the President addressed directly. And I also want to say that just mentioning or listing the values is not providing a report to the nation on the measures that you've taken and the progress that has been achieved in those in achieving those values. So, Honorable Speaker, you come to the President's speech from paragraph 18 there. You will see that he goes straight on to say that in the address he will set out strategic choices, the reforms we will deepen, the sectors we will unlock, investments we will prioritize, which is futuristic language. These are the things that he's going to do. And in fact, Honorable Speaker, out of the 163 paragraphs in this speech, the President gave us the job of looking for these values in just 93 of those paragraphs. From paragraph 94, Honorable Speaker, all the way to 163, all he's talking about is his new vision, the promises that he's now making on questions like building of 50 mega dams, 10,000 megawatts of electricity in the next 7 years, 2,500 kilometers of roads that he says is going to do all, 228,000 kilometers for tarmacking that he has identified. Speaker, therefore, for some of us, we struggled trying to find where these values are and what measures he has taken in the past 12 months to be able to achieve them throughout this speech. And I will go one by one, Honorable Speaker, so that you can be able to see that what I am saying is actually factual. Speaker, I have spoken about the rights themselves. So the first time he attempts to discuss measures that he has taken to address any of the rights, any of the, what are they called? Any of the values in Article 10 is at paragraph 59, where he says he's turning to discuss healthcare as the foundation of human dignity, one of those values in Article 10. Honorable Speaker, just this morning, those of you who read the newspapers saw the sad story of one Wanjiku Kabita, who is stuck in India because her family is unable to pay medical fees. She suffers from kidney complications. Speaker, to me, really you cannot gloss over the issues in health. We as a House, yes, pass certain laws to bring into existence of the social health assurance, but the conversation about SHA cannot be complete without addressing the challenges that SHA is facing. Speaker, you know that SHA owes hospitals and other healthcare facilities a lot of money, and we have had repeated, in the past 12 months, repeated cases of hospitals shutting down or refusing or rejecting or turning away patients who are on SHA because they say that SHA is not remitting money back to them. You remember the rural and urban private hospital associations has had in the period between January and this month had more than once threatened to actually go on strike because these monies were not being remitted. Just the other week, I saw a statement from the Catholic bishops as well, Honorable Speaker, calling on the government to remit monies owed to faith-based health facilities. So these challenges, you cannot have a conversation about healthcare, and he has said is the foundation of human dignity, without addressing the indignity that Kenyans continue to face because of lack of affordable care. Last week, I think this House was again discussing a statement from the Senator of Kiambu about mothers and newborns still being detained in hospitals because, Honorable Speaker, we do not have sufficient funding from SHA to be able to take care of these bills. Then, Honorable Speaker, the second one, he spoke about the education sector. And, Honorable Speaker, everybody knows the issues that have bedeviled the education sector in the past 12 months. Speaker, as we speak today, the JS interns who are supposed to be employed on permanent and pensionable, their contracts are expiring this December. Now, one cabinet secretary stood up and told the teachers that there was about 6 billion. That was the CS for Treasury. 6 billion earmarked on for the absorption of these JS teachers. There are about 20,000 of them on permanent and pensionable basis. Speaker, another CS from the same government, this time the one in charge of education, says there is nothing like that. So the uncertainty, I thought that the president would utilize this opportunity to clear that uncertainty and tell the teachers, the 20,000 JS teachers, whether his government is going to put them on permanent and pensionable or not, so that they can enjoy their Christmas with the rest of the family, of their families with that certainty. Honorable Speaker, we are being faced with a spectre that come January, the free day secondary education that has been existing since Kibaki's time might not continue, because we have seen a circular from government that we are going back to the 2015, what is it called, the Gazette from 2015, that does not factor in that amount that was being paid by government for the day scholars in the secondary schools. Now, a president who has such an opportunity, I thought he would take that time to be able to calm the nerves of the anxious parents in this country and tell them that there will be no removal or the discontinuation of the free day secondary education in Nairobi. We also had, in the past 12 months, Honorable Speaker, strikes in our universities that have affected, especially the first years who are reporting. You are aware, Honorable Speaker, that they were on the streets, the lecturers, for over 60 days. I think it was a good opportunity for the president, as the head of state, to take that opportunity to explain to the country what he's going to do in order that we resolve the crisis that happen from day to day in the education sector. I want to move very quickly, Honorable Speaker. If you go to paragraph 94, Speaker, those things I have debated here, I've discussed here, are the only references I see to the values in Article 10 of the Constitution. So from paragraph 94, where the head of state says, having set out the work of the last 3 years, it would be easy, almost comfortable to pause, congratulate ourselves, and settle into the warmth of modest progress. Now, from this particular paragraph, Honorable Speaker, he believes that he has fulfilled the requirement under Article 132(1)(c) of reporting on the measures his government has taken and the progress that has been achieved, which I argue has not happened. From there on, Honorable Speaker, we get into discussions. I think there are at least 15 to 20 paragraphs here where the President is just talking about the history of the Asian tigers. This is 20 paragraphs. That Asian tigers debate, Honorable Speaker, has nothing to do with the values in Article 10. Then, of course, the favorite conversations are around things that allow for, people to be able to engage in construction. I think the President's favorite thing is construction. He has told us himself that housing and markets and the others are his favorite thing, and they are the indicators that his government is working. So he quickly goes into the things that he thinks are Kenya's priorities. He starts with the 50,000 mega dams, Honorable Speaker, the 10,000 megawatts of electricity in the next 7 years, then the 2,500 kilometers of roads for tarmacking. Speaker, this is not what that speech is supposed to be for. That speech should be heavy on the things you have done to address the software of this country, and that software, Honorable Speaker, is in the discussion about devolution, rule of law, democracy, human dignity, equality, human rights, non-discrimination, protection of the marginalized, good governance, integrity, transparency, and accountability. In the entire speech, Honorable Speaker, there is no mention of that, any of those values. Even for us as a House, we should be concerned that the entire speech mentions nothing to do with devolution, Honorable Speaker, given the challenges we face as senators. And I am happy that in the crowd of people who are uploading this speech, I didn't see senators there. Otherwise, I would have been extremely embarrassed because, Honorable Speaker, every day here we lament that devolution is not working. How can you therefore be uploading when an entire speech has nothing to do with devolution, Honorable Speaker? And I want to challenge any member of this House. Before you rise on a point of order, show us where in the speech the President addresses the problems of devolution.
Is it point of order or point of information? Then maybe I ask him whether he is interested in to be informed. Can you conclude within
Honorable Speaker, I don't want to be informed by Senator Cherargei because I was watching those proceedings from the safety of my bar. I didn't see the senators. And if there were senators who are uploading a speech that has no mention of the problems of devolution, shame on you. And you should not ever complain here again about whether devolution is working or not working, because how can you upload such a speech? I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for donating time to me.